How you doing right now? I'm with world-renowned artist, producer extraordinaire, Mr. Bobby, aka the RZA. How you doing?
What's up, yeah? How you feeling, Malik?
Good. So I know you're here and you're in the brick match in the film.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your character and how you prepared for it. Because I heard also he has a West Indian background.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm playing a character called Tremaine Alexander. Brick Mansion is a remake of a film that was in France, District 13. David Bell was the star of that film. He's also starring in this film alongside of Paul Walker. And I play, I guess, the villain of the film, Tremaine. And to prepare for it, really, I just went to some of my darker sides, as well as some of my comedic sides too, though. I kind of play them kind of dark and funny at the same time. And I'm having a lot of fun, and I get to change my voice every once in a while when I'm making the Kerry Gore special and things of that nature, man,
Okay.
you know?
Okay, cool. Respect. How is it being a director and a music producer? What are the comparisons?
I think a music producer is like a micro universe to what a director does, which would be a macro. When I make an album in the studio, maybe there's a dozen people, maybe 20 people the most that will have to fall under my guidance or under my control as I produce the album. But when I wrote On the Man with the Iron Fist, it was days where I had 400 people that I had to command and control. One thing I can honestly say is all the music I did with the Wu-Tang Clan prepared me to be a director. I didn't know this at the time, of course, but when I got to do the film and I had very strong personalities in my film, you know, Rick Yoon, who plays the lead character, Zing Yi, Russell Crowe playing Jackknife, Lucy Liu, as well as some of the classic Asian actors like Gordon Liu and Chen Kwon Ta. You know, having all this great talent under my control and making sure that I could get the best out of everybody was a challenge. But being that I already dealt with Old Dirty Bastard and I dealt with Method Man and Raekwon and Ghostface and these guys and Master Killer, so I had a sensibility, and I think it came very useful to me.
When you forge a weapon, you need 3 things: the right metal, temperatures over 1400 degrees, and someone who wants to kill. Here in Jungle Village, we got all 3.
I know it says Quentin Tarantino presents. What's your relationship with Quentin Tarantino?
Well, Quentin Tarantino, first of all, I consider him one of my best buddies, you know. He's a real cool guy, and we have a lot of fun together. We had a strong friendship, but he is what I recognize to be a master of filmmaking and an encyclopedia of film knowledge. And I was very impressed by him, so impressed that I asked him, could I be a student? And he accepted me as a student. And I say for about 6 years, I was under his tutelage of filmmaking. And that came from going to movie sets that he worked on and sitting there in the corner with my notebook and taking down notes, going to his house and watching many films with him and going to the festivals with him and learning and just exchanging knowledge. And I learned so much from him. And when I was ready to direct my first film, you know, I first had to check with him and ask him, do you think I'm ready? And the first time I asked him, he said, no, you're not ready yet. And maybe a year later, when I asked him, he said, yes, you are ready.
So let me ask you something. What's the most important piece of advice that he gives to you about filmmaking?
You can't put 6 years into one sentence, you know what I mean? Not only should a filmmaker be observant and should know the basic, you know, technicals of your 6 angles or even 12 angles if you want to break it down to a clock. Knowing how to have empathy with your actors and to pour that energy out. But one of the best things he said to me, because this is a man who's won the Oscar twice for writing, and he suggested that I should write myself. You should write it, he said, because you already are a writer as an MC. So the visions in your mind, you should now put to paper as a film.
What was that? I always take a gun to a knife fight.
The most potent lesson I could give to anybody else who's watching this interview is preparation is the key. And that goes to almost anything. And I've learned that most as a director. We spent up to 14 weeks between scouting, even 16 weeks between scouting and pre-production. That's a long time. And we only shot for 9 weeks. So we prepared more than we physically did the work. And I could have used another 2 more weeks of preparation because, you know, when you're preparing, for anything, whether you're preparing for a boxing fight. You know, you see a boxer, he'll train 3 months for a 1-hour fight. You know, a track and field person has to run day after day and day just for a 2-minute race. So preparation is the key.
Chin chin.